I did print it out. So. Really? All right, so my trading hours as of right now, because I have to be to work early in the morning at 6, are from 3 to 5. And I'm trading crude oil, right? So I try to come into the market at least about 20 to 30 minutes before 3 o'clock, before the market opens, before London session opens. I came into the market probably about 10 minutes early this morning. I woke up a little late. So the first thing I like to do is I put up 4 charts. I put up the daily, then I put up the hour, the 5 minute, and the 15 seconds. But I only keep 2 charts up while I'm trading, and that's the 5 minute and the 15 second. So come on here first and I look at my daily just to get an idea of the direction of the market. So my daily is here at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can really see it. Let me see. That's this chart right here. I'm looking at a support level. On the daily. So it's close to it, but also probably a support level. Up around this area, even this area. But for the most part, price is trending downward on the daily. So that just gives me a decent idea. Right. And then I go look at the hour. So since price is trending on the daily, I guess it just gives me a picture of the market for the most part. I'm not gonna say it necessarily gives me a bias, but slightly. So since I already know that, I'm going to take it to a 3 chart template. Right. So now I'm going to look at the hour, and then I'm going to start drawing my levels before the market opens. Well, it's 3 o'clock now, so and I probably go back maybe 3 to 5 days. It depending. That depends on exactly what my price currently is, right? So I'll draw some levels real quick. The ones that stand out the most. Like that one. I definitely like that level. I doubt price reaches that today, especially if it does, not within the 2 hours I have to trade before I go to work. Um, I, I like that one there. Okay. And that one. All right, so I have about 5 levels on my chart at the moment. I might have to adjust these once I go down to the 5 minute time frame. But for right now, these are the levels that catch my attention. Okay, yeah, that one too. And I'll make another video also on how I draw my levels in the future. But okay, we'll leave it right here. So I've never traded the London session coming into early Monday morning. So I don't know what the volume is like. Excuse me. Coming off of Sunday night. I don't know. So I'm still learning that aspect, but I would imagine, I don't know, we'll see. All right. A lot of things you're just not going to know until you actually get repetitive information and data about it. And right now, I'm just I'm waiting for price I'm waiting for price to reach one of the levels that I drew, right? So now on my left chart, I have my 5 minute. On the right chart, I have my 15-second chart. So I wait for price to reach one of the levels to see how price reacts at that price level before I make a decision in taking a trade. And if I don't see a trade that fits my criteria and I don't see my setup, I just won't take it. Right? I only take 3 trades at the most. And within those 3 trades, if I lose twice, then I'm done for the day. So right now, I'm risking $60 a trade. Since last month, I didn't really get to trade. I had a lot going on. That's no excuse, but it was a busy month, man. So it kind of took me out of the game mentally, and I didn't want to just be in here gambling. Like they say, if your mind ain't right, if you got too much going on, you need to get that handled first so that you can come into the market with a clear state of mind and fully focused. So I'm going to risk 2 ticks, no, 3 ticks, right? But I'm risking 2 contracts. My stop loss right now is 3 ticks, and I risk 2 contracts on crude oil. So that's $60. And as I become more consistent, then I will raise that up to 3, 4 contracts, maybe more. But on my 50K account, I'm looking to $200 to $300 a day just to pass my eval and then to get my payout. And then after that, then I'll start increasing the number of accounts But first I had to pass the first one. So I figure if I can get to $200 a day, I can pass it within a month. Because I'm not trying to just go crazy with it and YOLO like some other traders. I'm trading it just like if it was my actual money on the line. However, I would rather make about $300 a day than I can pass my account roughly, let's say, 10 days. But that's the goal. It's probably not going to work out like that. It could work out better, but I don't know. We'll see. But that's my train of thought at the moment. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, plus it's 3 o'clock. Um, I'm in Virginia, so it's Eastern Standard Time. And also, when I come into the market, I have my little notebook with my trading strategy. So I read over that. I try to stretch, maybe do a little meditation before I start trading. I didn't get to today. I woke up a little late. I didn't go to bed early enough last night. And so, but anyway, what I do is I read over my trading strategy and just to make sure that I have it down packed and at the front of my mind before I start trading. So, Mm, mm, mm. Oh, wait. Okay, let me get back to it. We might have some action. So I'm looking on the 5 minute chart. I see the price has shown some rejection from my support level that I previously drew at 57.56. So I'm waiting for a certain pattern on the 15 second before I decide to jump in or not to jump in. Right? I've also found within my back testing that the London session is the session I like the most. It has enough volatility for me to get what seems to be a continuous at least 1 to 3, possibly 1 to 4, and a lot of times price will even go further than that. But I'm sticking to a 1 to 3.5, 1 to 4, anywhere from a 1 to 3 to a 1 to 4. I'm not exactly sure just yet, and then take what that gives me, as opposed to trying to hit a home run and go from like a 1 to 6 or something like that. And I'd rather just take consistent wins as opposed to shooting for the fences. So that's the strategy at the moment. And then I get better with taking partial profits and things of that nature as we move along. But I'm just laying the foundation to be a much better trader first. And then y'all can follow the journey too. So, and maybe some things that you see me doing, especially as a new beginner trader, it might can help you also. So I'll try to talk through some of my trades and what I'm thinking about when I'm doing it. So, and one thing I'm making sure that I don't do is chase trades. I don't care about the profit. I'm looking for reaction at certain levels, and I also use the EMA. Well, let me take this 9 off because this 9 is not important at the moment. So I use the 200 EMA and the 20 EMA. I have the 9 on here at times just to give me an idea of possibly where I might take profit if the trade is already going in my favor. But overall, I use the 20 and the 200 EMAs. The 200 is that purple line, and the 20 EMA is the yellow dotted line on my screen. And sometimes they work as support and resistance. So it's kind of what I use them for. and also a trigger line too, because if I'm looking to enter a trade, if they break one of the EMAs, depending on what the trade is, then that also gives me a good idea to take a trade. And also too, just because I use the 1 hour time frame to draw some of my levels, I will also, I guess, refine some levels by looking at my 5 minute price chart. Like I can see a level probably right here, but it wasn't a major level that really stuck out to me. So, and then also too, a lot of times, man, your levels, they can be more like zones, not at a particular price, but around that price. You know, so it doesn't have to be an exact price level. It can be a little wider. Mm-mm-mm. I was breaking through that zone, so, but it still didn't give me an entry, so I'm not gonna take it. And then two, it's a thing called, what is it called? Reversion. It's called reversion to the mean. So you can back test this and go look at it. So let's say you have a 200 EMA. You can pick whatever EMA, but I like the 200 and the 20. You will see that price, depending on your time frame now, because the smaller the time frame, the less amount of time it takes for price to come back, well, for price and the EMAs to meet each other again. So let's say if I'm on a 5 minute time frame and price gets away, if you can look towards the left, my left chart, let me try to make it a little bit bigger for you guys, right? On my left chart, my 5 minute, price is trending downward. So let's say it gets far away from the 200 EMA. And that's relative, right? You'll get an idea what what far is by looking at your instrument. Mine is crude oil, so let's say it gets far away from the 200 EMA. Eventually, it's going to find its way back to the EMA. It's not necessarily that price is going to go back to the EMA, but they'll meet back to each other. Right? Sometimes price will consolidate and the EMA will come back to it, or the EMA will just bounce back towards it, the 200 EMA. I mean, or the price will bounce back to the 200 EMA. And on a 5 minute time frame, with my instrument crude oil, let's say on average, it doesn't stay away. The price and the 200 EMA, they might not stay away from each other for no longer than a day. So if price is too far, especially if it drops or it rises violently away from the 200 EMA, there could be a good chance that if you see a rejection at a support level or resistance level, the price is probably going to bounce back towards it. But you can look that up on YouTube and get some more information about mean reversion. So I do kind of use that because it helps give me an idea and a higher confirmation for my trade. If I see price away from the EMA and it's starting to reject from a support or resistance level, and if it gives me the sign that I need, then I feel more confident with taking the trade. But I'm still a novice, right? So don't crucify me if you have a different of opinion. Or crucify my hell, I don't care. But either way, I'm still learning, and it takes time, I realize, and not to rush the process. But I do love trading, man. This is all I really want to do. I don't want to work. Not that I don't. I don't mind working. Right? I take care of business, but at the same time, just to be a trader, this is what I'm more this is trading is what I'm most passionate about. Right? I would much rather do this full time, so that's the goal. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm. And also, too, I have two books, right? I haven't had a chance to really. I started reading both of them, but I haven't had the chance to dig deep into the books. One is Volume Price Analysis by Ann Cooling and dealing with price action. Oh, it's another one too called Bar by Bar, I think it's called. I forgot the guy's name, but it's also dealing with the price action. And another one is dealing with psychology. I can't think of the guy's name, man, but he's really popular for psychology pertaining to trading. So probably going to start reading those books and then taking notes probably this weekend. And I'll let y'all know. They're good books, though. I already started reading the books, and a lot of traders, they talk about the books and how good they are. And I can see where they can definitely be helpful because I also watch their videos. And Cooling has a lot of great videos on YouTube. And then Mark Douglas, I think it is. And I think is it Mark Douglas? I'm sorry, I can't remember. I don't want to give y'all the wrong information. I'll grab the books in a second from my bookcase. I'm just keeping my eye on this trade though, because it seems like it's putting me in the bottom of rejection area too. Yeah. All right, let's see something. Because I'm looking for. Uh, all right, so we had also rejection from this area right here to the left, right? I noticed the consolidation areas tend to be places of higher volume with more orders were traded. Right? Like if I drew, it's not always the case, but I see support being put in possibly at this level right here. Because if you look on the 5 minute time frame, this consolidation area right above it is where price rejected from too. So I've been seeing that when I draw my levels, but let me get back to the 15-second chart. So I'm gonna draw another level right there too to see if that reacts, because that might be, if it comes back down to this particular area, then it might be a double bottom for me, right? So let me see. Let me go ahead and put a level there, but I'm gonna change the color so I know the difference. So, all right, yeah, we can go with that. I ain't the best, but. And I'm not a big fan of having a whole bunch of levels on my chart. Right? And you have some people, man, they'll put all type of levels on their chart, man. They'll go from the 4 hour to 1 hour to daily. And it's just too many lines for me. And I realized, like, from looking back at it, I don't really have to go normally more than about maybe 2 to 5 days back when I draw my levels. I look for the most recent and prominent levels, the most significant ones. And if looking back a day or two, I don't see a level close by where my current price is, then I might go a little further back. Could go back 2 weeks, right? But I won't draw a bunch of lines. I just look for that level, you know. Well, a level that possibly might interact with it. Like if price is falling down and price was way above for, let's say, a few weeks, even for a few days, a few weeks, I'm looking for the closest price. Even if I have to go 2 or 3 weeks down, 2 or 3 weeks back, that price might also reach, because sometimes price will be down here to go up for a few weeks, then come back down. If that makes sense, right? Probably try to explain it better next time. Mm, 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 mm. As a matter of fact, let me change this and move this up. I don't want to do that. I do want to do this though. Do some more surface area, right? Do. So nothing is standing out to me at the moment as far as a clear entry. Oh. But I am looking at possibly a rejection up here on the 5 minute from this 20 EMA, but we'll see. I'm looking for either rejection from the 20 EMA or possibly price coming back down to this blue level or either this pink level and making a double bottom, then going back up. I don't know. Those are the only things that I see at the moment. But like I said, regardless, and those are things I look for. So I have to see reaction from one of those two areas. And then I have to see a certain pattern before I enter too. So, like they say, money is made from being patient and waiting. So that's what I'm going to do. Looking for A plus trades only, or I guess an A trade. Just looking for good trades. Like I heard a trader say, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. Plain and simple. Because a lot of times you can just be looking, oh, I think that's a good trade. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, I think it is. I guess what is called confirmation bias. If you really want to see something, you will. If you look at it hard enough, and then you'll find yourself taking loss after loss unnecessarily because you feel like you can't wait. You don't have patience. So you'll force a trade. But then because of that, a lot of times you'll force a loss too, as opposed to being patient and waiting for your setup. And then also too, a lot of times at the beginning, you have to find what your setup is. So sometimes you just got to take trades. Like you're going to lose some money. I realize initially it's just the cost of doing business, pretty much like a startup cost, before you get your return. So because you have to get the data, you have to get a certain amount of trades, you have to get the reps in to know what to look for, if it works, what does it look like exactly on a continuous basis. So God told me, man, you just can't be afraid to trade, man. You're gonna lose some money, but that's a good thing about prop firms. is you have some money, some skin in the game without having a bunch of skin in the game. So you do get the feeling of anxiety, not as much because you don't have a lot of your money on the line, but you get a chance to see what it feels like a little bit more than just a demo account with no real money on the line, you know. And then you also have a real goal to attain that you're really aiming to reach, right? And that's to pass your evals and also get paid. Mm-mm-mm. And I look for price to slow down too. So if price was violent earlier, price hits this pink line and this blue line, starts to stall around here or slow down. And a lot of times I realize because crude oil, I'm not gonna say it stays in between certain levels, but to me it seems like it's not like it's trying to shoot to the moon every time. So maybe it stays between $5, a range of two, three, four, $5, whatever it may be, for a certain amount of time, and it goes back and forth, a little bit above, a little bit below, you know, and then eventually it might break out of that. But I tend to like the way crude moves, and it tends, for me, to be not as fast as the Nasdaq, and to respect levels a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I see it. And you can check it out yourself if you're looking for an instrument to trade and you don't know exactly what instrument. Take a look at crude, because every instrument doesn't move the same. Like some move a little bit differently. They trade a little differently. They respect the EMAs at times a little differently. Also, they respect levels a little more, I've seen. Not only the instrument do you have to look at, but also the time frame. Some time frames seem to trade a little bit better, you know, depending on your strategy too. Mm-mm-mm. I'm waiting to see if it puts in a base here at this pink line, right? If it does, then that'll give me like double bottom possibly. And that's the one thing I do look for. And then I take that back up. If price is showing that it kind of wants to go back up. If it shows that it's losing steam towards the downside and it's putting in a double bottom, along with some other price action, I do look at the volume too. Then I'll possibly take it up. But we'll see. It might not do that. Might just keep shooting down. It looks like it might want to. Mm-mm-mm. I probably could have took that too, because I would have been off it too. Yeah. Mm. You know what? I think I did miss an opportunity too. All right. So the way on the 15-second chart, this 200 EMA is roughly the equivalent of the 20 EMA on the 5 minute. They're almost equal. So as far as the location and the pullback on the 15-second, now I'm just getting back into the markets after the last several weeks. I wasn't even trading right. So I'm coming in a little smaller and being more cautious. However, that would have been a good pullback. And it gave me the pattern, one of the patterns that I enter on. But that's my fault, right? Because price came right here, and also if I look to the left, that would have been another perfect resistance level, even on the 15-second and the 5-minute. And that's how I draw mine too. I would have seen it right here, but I'm still waking up, man. So I got to get back into the flow of trading. I could have took that. That would have been decent. Yeah. Okay. That's my fault. Trying to miss no too many opportunities because I don't have but so many. Because I only have a 2-hour window. But I also have to make sure psychologically that I don't force a trade because I know I don't have that much time. Yeah, I could have took that. That would have been a good trade, bro. I didn't take that one. Tripping. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We'll do better tomorrow. Because I also look for pullbacks into my 20 EMA, and that was a pullback into the 20 EMA. Bro. On the 5-minute, it was a pullback into my yellow line right here. That's my 20 EMA. I look, the EMAs on the 5-minute hold the most weight, and then I look at the EMAs on my 15-second. But right here, that was a great pullback. Dang, I missed that one, right? Right into my 200 EMA on my 15-second, and looking to the left where perfect resistance too. That's all right though. Cool, cool. Man. Okay, yeah. I'm tripping. Perfect one too. Oh, Mm. Okay. Okay. Mm. Okay, we'll do better next time on that. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. So it seems that volume has dried up a little bit, at least for a little while anyway. The London session opens up at 3 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. And so more volume comes into the market. And then throughout the trading session, volume dries up and more volume comes into the market. It does pick up. I mean, if you have to trade whenever you have the time for it. But especially when you have a job, that's one thing I do like about futures. It's 23 hours. Sometimes you can trade when you get off. The market opens up, let's say at 6 p.m. I think that's Asian session, right? And so if you get off in evening time, you still have an opportunity. It won't be that much volume. And also, depending on what instrument you use or instrument that you trade, the spread might be wide, between the buy and the sell. So that can affect your profit or your loss. And you still might not have as many opportunities because of the lack of volume. So therefore, price might consolidate a lot more. But some instruments still have way more opportunity, or have more opportunities than others, even in the Asian session line, when volume is a little bit dry. So it's not like options or stuff like that where you can only trade during the daytime. You can trade whenever. Get this one backwards. Okay, I'm gonna show them back. I want to see something about that. It could be a pullback area. We'll see. Mm-mm-mm. Wasn't expecting that one. Okay. So we're going to see how it could be it. So so I'm trying to keep the chart big enough for you guys to see, but also so I can get enough data for me to make a proper decision. Oh, shot past that, ain't it? Look at that. Well, I'm missing opportunities left and right this morning, right? Yeah, you see this yellow block that I drew here, right? It was more like a consolidation block, looking for price to break out of that. It broke past it, but I didn't take the trade. I still didn't. I mean, it went up, but I didn't see anything necessarily clear. Right. That volume was there, but I didn't take that. And so we'll see. And then getting chart time too, because that's the only way you're going to get your eyes set to opportunities. is having time on the charts. So this here is a consolidation area right here. I'm looking for this consolidation area to possibly be a resistance area too. Well, if you look on a 5-minute chart, this area, consolidation. So this is the fixed volume profile. I use that sometimes so I can get an idea. Price pull back into it. But a lot of times I find that consolidation areas tend to be resistance or support levels, right? So I'm looking for price breaks back below this to possibly take down back to this EMA. So we'll see. So I just got in at, so on my chart right now, I already have a bracket order. That's a 3-to-1. If it goes, it goes. A lot of times, well, it seems to be a lot of times if price starts to stall, it's a good chance that maybe that wasn't the best entry. And then sometimes price stalls and it still goes to your take profit. But I like to see price pushing when I get in, not stalling. So we'll see. But anyway, I got 3 tick stop loss and a 9 tick profit. Take profit. So I still don't think it was the best entry. It was a decent setup. It gave me off of the resistance. I don't like how price moved way back up the way it did, right? However, it did react at that resistance level, and it did give me the pattern I was looking for to enter. But looking at the EMAs, they're still moving up too, so it ain't looking good because they should have been moving down. But That's something I had to work on too. So I'm gonna have to get a certain amount of trades. I say about 20 to 50, and then go over the data in my TradeZilla trading journal account, and it's an online trading journal, a great trading journal too. I love it, but I have to put the data in and then look back at it and then critique it. So a lot of times I find a lot of on and the pullbacks. So it's between pullbacks along with rejections, right, at support and resistance levels. I would much rather just do pullbacks. So I have to look at the data between which ones and see which ones are most profitable at. Is it pullbacks or is it support and resistance levels? I just got to get more data and just be patient. That's it. I realize. And that'll just come with time, man. So I'm going to work on that. And then just getting better at actually really seeing good interest at these levels too. And then getting better at drawing levels, which I think I'm fairly decent because I see good reactions off of them. Sometimes I just don't see what the good entry may be. Waiting for confirmation from a level. Sometimes I miss opportunities too, like I did down here. Because it can either go two ways, up or down, once you get to that level. And for real, I could have just took that. But I don't know, we're going to keep working on it. But it gives me a point of reference because I'm only trading from my levels and trading from my EMA. So. Yeah, I'm going to get out of this. I don't like this. All right, so I closed out the trade, right? It was stalling. It was taking a while. And if I go back and look, right, looking at the 5-minute time frame, right, price was here. This is where I should have entered it. When I got a good rejection from here, and then this would have been a second rejection because the first one was here. Let me see. I'm gonna draw this for y'all, man. So the first rejection was here, right? That's one touch. Then here is the second. All this down here, right? From this level. So that's pretty much like a double bottom. Well, at least two touches, right? It's a confirmation of touches that, okay, price is stalling in this particular area. For whatever particular reason, I don't know. I don't have Bookmap. I might get it in the future. So I can't see if there's a lot of orders there or any passive orders that might be holding up the market. I can't see it. So, but this rejection is either going to go one or two ways, up or down. Right? When I seen the stall here, I could have took it because also once I drew that block, if it broke above that consolidation, I probably could have took that, especially with the consolidation, and also it broke above my 200 EMA or my 15 second. And I do use that as a trigger line, right? Either way, I didn't take it. Froze up, I guess. We're getting back into the market, so we're gonna get better at that. And then it shot back up. But when it shot back up, if you can see here, let me get that out of the way. It broke my yellow 20 EMA. And once it broke that, it rejected from this other level above it, came back to that 200 EMA. And that's when I got out of it. I was looking at it and price started to stall there. And a lot of times it'll do that. It'll break past an EMA and then come back, it'll pull back to that EMA, and that EMA will become support, And so I just said, let me get out of it, man. Oh, I should have just kept that in. Listen, I'll leave this up here so y'all can see it too. All right. So I got out right here, and my I don't think it would have hit my stop loss yet, but as you can see, I got out here. I entered here, 57.66. Let me get this out of the way. Hold on. Let me move this back here. All right. Y'all bear with me, man. I'm going to get better with this screen recording too. But I want to make sure that my charts are large enough so that y'all can see from y'all end. So, hey, price might shoot back down, right? But I didn't want to risk it. So I entered here at 57.66, I think it was. Maybe not there. The price went back up. It wouldn't have reached my take profit though. I mean my stop loss. But it started to stall in this particular area. And then on top of that, the EMAs were still moving. I mean, they were kind of going flat, but I just felt like the price probably starting to head north as opposed to heading south like it was earlier, right? So I just got out of it. I didn't like the way it was moving. I feel like it's consolidating here. If you look here on the 5 minute, it seems to be consolidating at both EMAs. Right? A lot of times it'll form a base, and then maybe it'll move higher, or it might just come back down too. I've seen that a lot too, but we'll see. If there's another opportunity, then I'll take it. But right now, I don't like the way it looks. So let me get these drawings off here for y'all, man. But I'm also learning not to be greedy, because a lot of times, man, you will see a trade might have went, let's say like a 1-9. You know, oh man, if I would have caught that, no. Right? Just like a professional gambler, right? I guess from my understanding, you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And then sometimes, man, you just gotta take a small bite, man. Because if you get a 1-3 on a regular basis, and I feel, oh, excuse me. If you have a 50% win rate and you get a 1-3, all right, so now you want to go down. Okay, look at that. So you get a 1-3 on the average, man, you winning, man. You know, you gonna be doing well. So I feel, for me, a 1-3 to a 1-4, and we'll see. So if it's a 1-4 and I'm risking 3 ticks, I'm looking to get 12 ticks. If it's a 1-3, then I'm risking 3 ticks to gain 9 ticks, and it's $10 a tick. And if it's a 3.5, then I think what's that? 10.5 ticks, I guess. 310. I don't know. Yeah, what? Either or. Anywhere from a 3 to a 4, possibly 3.5 right in the middle. And then my goal is to get consistent, become consistent with, let's say, whatever I choose, a 1-3 first, with a 60% win rate. That's my goal. You know, that's my goal. The market might not give me that, but if I'm profitable, then cool. But that's the goal of mine that I'm going to keep striving for. 60% win rate with 1-3. Then I try to see if I can increase that to a 1 to 3.5, and then to like a 1-4. I'm cool after that. You know, maybe I learn, get better at taking partials, and maybe that can up my risk to reward. I don't know, but I'm happy with that. Honestly, if I can get a 1-4, then also learning to be more patient, because I could have stayed in the trade, right? It would have gave me a little bit more here, but hindsight, everything, you know, you can see everything when you look back at it, I guess. So I think with the Apex account with the 50K, you can pull out 3,000 a month, get your payout. So I'm going to eventually up it once I get back into the flow of trading, and I'm going to risk $100, right? Or 3 contracts, let's just say 90. And like I said, the goal is $300 a month, a day on average. So in 10 days, 10 trading days, I can pass the eval, or I can get my payout, right? And then just increase, not necessarily try to be greedy and increase my risk to like 200 or something. Look at that, I'm gonna go down. That's all right. Keep it where it's at 100, and just get more accounts. Ideally, let's say like 10. So if I can pull out 10, this is the goal, right? This is what I have in my mind anyway. If I can pull out 3,000 off one account, just increase my accounts, then get a second account, a third account. Once I pass another, get another payout, then pass another one, all right, and get up to 10. All right. Now, I don't have to be greedy. I don't have to try to rush it. Just get $300 a day. If I get up to 5 accounts, that'd be 15,000, 3,000 a month times 5, yeah, 15. Get 10, that'd be 30. So that's the goal. I forgot it's another guy, man. I forgot his name. He kind of does it like that. Like he doesn't try to be greedy. He has a really good channel, man. I can't think of his name either. But I like his channel, man. He does a lot of live trading. And I'm gonna just record what I do here and post it. And then I'll talk about some of my wins and losses too. And also trying to grow the channel, man. And I can use that to get me away from my 9 to 5, then I can trade even more. Right? The hardest part I realized, man, is having a job. But you need a job so you won't rely strictly on trading initially until you become really good at it and profitable and consistent. That way you can just focus strictly all your mental attention and energy on being the best trader that you can be. The job takes away from that, but you also need the job so you won't be so thirsty and rush trades, right? And make bad decisions because you have bills to pay. So I guess it's a catch-22, but still got to find a way. So I realized, man, I might can get, because even looking back at the data, like I would have had 2, maybe 3 opportunities between 3 o'clock and like 4:15 or something like that. If I would have capitalized on those opportunities, right, I could have been done with the market for the day before I go to work. When I alleviate this 9 to 5, then I'll probably stay in the market all 69 hours. I'll draw my levels, and then with TradingView, and that's the platform that I'm using, right? I'm using TradingView. What you can do is you can set alerts, right? So if price reaches a certain level, I'll get some kind of noise, right? A continuous ringing. And so no matter where I'm at, you can even set it on your phone, right? But let's say you're in the house. So if you're in the bathroom or you're working out or whatever you're doing, taking care of some business, washing clothes, washing dishes, whatever, you'll get the indication. And then you can get back in front of the charts, and then you can make a trading decision, which is cool. So you can you won't just be stuck 2, 3, 4, 5 hours strictly on the charts. You can be doing something that's productive. I have another screen, and I'm going to be using that too. I didn't want to use it today. I do have some things that I need to do on it, some design things, right, some editing. But since this is my first day back at the market in almost like a month, I'm going to make sure I'm consistent. no excuses that I didn't want to divide my attention. I wanted to give the charts my undivided attention because of that. So now, to me, price is about to start to consolidate, it looks like. And my trading time is done at 5 o'clock, so I might just be done for the day, man. Because I missed those opportunities anyway. I don't know. We'll see. Which I'm not mad at. You can't beat yourself up too much, right? You got to love yourself, but also be stern on yourself, because if you beat yourself up, you'll force yourself to make yourself feel bad, and you'll make bad decisions moving forward, as opposed to say, look what you did learn, right? You learned that, okay, I missed some opportunities. Okay, let me be a little bit more dialed in and locked in. Let me go back, do some more back testing. And it's a beautiful thing that I even recognize that I missed those opportunities and where I missed those opportunities at, instead of just beating yourself up. You don't want to do that. So, let me show you all these books I was talking about earlier too, before I get off in a few. No, nothing really catching my attention. All right, so, ooh, it's dropping, but still not my setup, right? If it's not my setup, every trade ain't your trade, man. You know, trade your trade. That's what I'm realizing. So it's 3 books. 3 books. This one is Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. You can check him out on YouTube. Phenomenal guy, man. Market psychology, right? Or trader psychology. And then also reading price charts bar by bar by Al Brooks. Check him out on YouTube. He a beast too, right? A lot of knowledge, a wealth of knowledge. And then this woman here, Ann Cooling, A Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis. These are the books I'm going to get into. Great books so far. I breezed through them briefly, and also I watched some of this stuff from the authors on YouTube. Great books though. So yeah, great books, man. So look, price dropping like crazy, right? Now, if I would have stayed in my trade, see, that's how you beat yourself up. I ain't gonna do that though. I made my decision. I made it. I'll make better decisions moving forward. It's part of learning. With anything you do, right? You ain't gonna know it all right away. It's gonna take time, especially if it's something difficult like trading, because most people don't even know a person who's a professional trader. I don't know any personally, except on YouTube. You know what I mean? I would like to find some, so I'm in Richmond, Virginia. And so if there's anyone here in Richmond, Virginia who's a professional trader or who's consistent, I would love to meet up with you. So tell them come to my channel, man. I would love to meet you, pick your brain if possible, or, you know. And when I become profitable, I'd love to do the same for other people, help them out, especially face to face. Because it's a lonely journey, man. Because You don't really know too many traders personally. Maybe if you're in a bigger city like New York or Chicago, right, where you have a lot of these trading desks there, and Chicago Board of Exchange and Wall Street. Yeah, but little old Richmond, Virginia, nah. Yeah, that's how it happens. Mm. Mm. Hey, now she want to drop, right? That's okay. Well, at least I did call a good entry. I just didn't hold it. Mm. We'll get better with that. Yeah. Oh, there is a pullback too, bro. You know? But you know what though too? Because truthfully, yo, I don't think I looked at it in the correct fashion. Because on the 5 minute, even though it was still under the 200 EMA, right? All right, so look, not only was it broke above it a little bit, but that doesn't really mean much. Because a lot of times it'll find itself breaking above the 200 EMA, and that's what holds the most weight. The 200 holds more weight for the most part, depending on the location and the setup, than the 20 EMA. But overall, the 200. Right? So a lot of times when it pulls back, when price pulls back into an EMA, it might break it. And sometimes people will get spooked. The same thing with a support or resistance level. And then it might price might pretty much find its balance in between, like right almost in the middle, or around about the EMA. But price was already down. We looked at it initially when we opened the charts this morning. On the daily, it was kind of trending. It was trending down, and the hourly also. So looking at the 5 minute and the 15 second, looking for price alignment. All right, top down analysis is that. So the daily and the hour were pretty much trending down from my viewpoint. That's what I see. Makes sense that 5 minute and also the 15 second, which we will hope, but also wind up trending down too. So even here, from this consolidation, it pulled back right back into it, like I mentioned earlier, and a lot of times it will find resistance or support there. Right? And this is a large consolidation zone. All this right here is blocked off, right? And to my left. Price pulled back into it, and this 200 EMA. I got spooked because I missed two opportunities, and I don't have a lot of time to trade in the morning. All right, so that's my fault psychologically. I wasn't strong enough or informed enough, I guess. But that's what the data is for. So pull back into the 200 EMA. It wound up finding resistance there, and then it started to move down. And I got in, but I didn't hold it. So I didn't have faith truly in the trade, I guess. All right. But I should have. Because even if it's going to, let's say prices overall is going to reverse, right? I try my best not to look for reversals on the 15 second. That was my interest. I try to look for reversals here on the 5 minute. And being that I haven't been in front of the charts like I should have been, right, the last few weeks, I feel like if I would have been, then I wouldn't have got also spooked about this resistance area right here, right? This right here. First rejection, boom. Goes up like it's just going to take off. A lot of times especially when the EMA is here, and then I have resistance. So I have a strong level of resistance above. Price comes back down, you see it rejects from this resistance here. And it's a good chance now it's going to go back up if it's going to reverse, right? So let's see. Oh, let me oh, stay right there. Anyway, I shouldn't have figured. It could have just taken off from this first rejection, but a lot of times I've seen with oil, uh, it's probably going to look for, which I look for anyway, a second or third touch of that resistance level. I mean, of that support level. So let me get back to here. But that's what practice is for, right? Mm-mm-mm. Oh, that's the wrong one, not that one. Get out of here. I got that one. All right, so we're looking. Uh-oh. Mm-mm-mm. So we're gonna see if my, I guess, hypothesis, I don't know, my educated guess was correct off of this resistance here on this level. And we'll see. If I take a loss, I just take a loss. I'm gonna tell you something else that's helpful, right? At least it's helpful to me. Is hearing other traders talk about. But you know what though? I don't know. We'll see if this is a rejection or not, because I don't know. It might go up to this 20 EMA, then reject off of that. It's 20 EMA on a 5 minute, and then go back down. I don't know. Sometimes it's random, right? The market is random. So hearing another trader talk about what she said. She was talking about, I think it's IBLV trading or something like that. It's a younger woman, man, and she traded on the 15 seconds, right? And so she was talking about, she said that she lost, or she blew 400 proper count, not 40. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody follows her, right? I might be wrong. It might have been 40, but it might have been 400, man. I don't know where I'm getting this number from, but I want to say it was 400 trading accounts, bro. Okay, I took a loss, but at 400 before she became profitable. So that put things in perspective, because if you're a new trader, you don't really know if you're on the right path or not. But when you hear other traders talk about how much money they lost, how many accounts they blew, you might be well below that and starting to do better or trailing to do better a lot quicker than them, right? So it gives you a better perspective, like, okay, you're on the right path, because a lot of times you don't know if you're on the right path or the wrong path, man. Mm-hmm. And also not revenge trading. Like I just took that loss, so that was probably about $60. My first one was a win that was 40, but I got out prematurely, so I'm waiting to see if this area is really going to hold for support, right? This level here, this particular area, we'll see. We had a strong rejection right here, though, so I'm waiting to see if it's going to hold and price is going to reverse. I don't know. I want to say I feel like it is, but we don't want to go off how we feel. We want to see trade what we see on the charts. That's it. This ain't about no feelings. So, like I said, if I take two losses, I'm done, and I only take 3 trades a day. So I took 2 trades, 1 loss, 1 win, and I have 1 left, 1 bullet left to shoot. After that, I'm done for the night, for the morning. I'm sorry. It looked like it's putting in a support here too, because you look to the left, right, and look at this candle, this one, these 3 candles. They stopped, started, stopped, and the wick might have went past it, but at this level right here for some reason. And if you look to the left, another one. So let's see. I'm going to draw a level there. Okay. And we're going to see if that holds. Because something is there. Can't see what it is because we don't have bookmap. The price is definitely reacting to that level. Waiting to see if price shows me a rejection from this level. It then breaks above the purple 200 EMA on my 15 second. You know, and also on higher volume too, then that might be a good chance to get back in. Yeah, that was a good one though. Yeah, but that was still more like guessing. I could have held it longer though. Yeah, what I did, I should have held it when I got to 40. No, because then that would have it went back to break even too. So we'll just see. We'll see, man. Plus, crude doesn't have the same amount, even nowhere close the same amount of volume, no matter what time of the day that you're trading, as Nasdaq or S&P. So Okay. So I'm also still in my I guess, a try out phase. Still trying certain things out too. Because here we have a second test of the same level. Now, will price bounce? How much would it bounce? Would it go back up to this EMA here, or what? Right, so, or will it just shut me back down because my other stop loss is here? I'm gonna take profits up there. So this is another thing too. When you're just starting and you trading, it's one thing I like about futures. I wish they had it for options. I haven't really seen any for options. It's prop firms, right? So if you got prop firms, you can still be in the market and you can learn and take losses and take wins and try different things and see what works for you. You know, see if it really does work and go from there without wiping out your hard-earned money. Right? You don't want to, you work your ass off all week. Imagine blowing $1,000, $2,000 in a month, something that you worked the whole week for. Right? You're afraid to try different things. You're afraid to hold the trades, and it's hard to learn that way. So, as opposed to, I was gonna get out the market. I was about to get out too, but it's probably gonna take me out. I was just about to get out because I see the prices going. All right, so that's it for me today. I was just about to take it. Mm, all right, that's cool. So it did bounce off this level, but it was only for like a 1-to-1. I'm not looking for a 1-to-1. Right. So we took that loss, two losses, one win. Um, it's cool. So I got to make some notes of my trades today, what I learned, because I did learn some things. I'm going to go back and do some back testing on something. And it really caught my attention. I'm not going to speak about it just yet, because I need to analyze it, but we shall see. Something caught my attention. And I want to reinforce it. I want to see if it's accurate. But yeah, let me stop before I take another trade. We're not going to do that. 3 trades max. I don't have a daily loss limit. I have to put that in place. I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe $150. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking like 150. So let me see what I lost today on my account. All right, so I think I was at $50,410, if I remember correctly. So maybe like at $100. I don't know. All right, cool. It is what it is. We come back tomorrow. I got something for the market tomorrow. Oh, damn, bro. Because I was just about to get out. And this is another thing too, right? I'm gonna say this before I get off. They say the trend is your friend, right? But then what trend you have on the 15 second, the trend might be a little different. then on the 5 minute. But for real, they pretty much lined up because the market was trending down after that rejection from the 200 EMA from the purple line on here. And so I just really wanted to see something. It did bounce back from that level. It didn't. The bounce back wasn't that strong though, so it wasn't a reversal. But it would have been a second touch because you see this one rejection here from this wick. Hold on, let me show y'all real quick. From this wick here, boom, and then this was the second touch. Same level, right? You see it. So levels work, but it only bounced for a 1-to-1. And I was just about to get out of it too. I then just shot back down. Well, anyway, it's cool. So I got a trading strategy. I have a trading strategy. It's pretty much, I ain't gonna say finalized yet, but I simplified it. But I might have to tweak a few other things. I will know over like the next month as I get. But now I want to go back up, right? Y'all see it? It's crazy. So over the next month, after I get more data over a series of trades, but I'm close to finalizing it though, right? And you see that, man? Look, it came back, kicked me out. I'm talking about pretty much right where my stop loss was, and then it went back up. Nuts. It's crazy, right? No. Hey, that's how the market do you, man. Went right back up, man. It's wild. Mm. Okay. Mm. Cool beans. Mm. Not that. Let me get that out the way. Let's go back to this because I want to see something. Mm. See. That's some stop loss. All right. I don't know. We'll see. All right. That's it. I'll be on here tomorrow. Make sure I get my ass up, get enough sleep so I can get up early in the morning and be on here. My goal every single day. If I get a trade or I don't get a trade, regardless. So I got to go to bed early. I have to be consistent, no excuses, and show up to the market.